He then told the patient that he could get away with giving her Botox in exchange for sexual services. They also allegedly discussed doing a skills swap where she would provide booty in return for MILFs, dermal fillers. Other messages were more sexually explicit, with the doctor talking about performing sex acts on himself and describing his fantasies about sex with the patient. He made inappropriate comments about the patient's bottom during another appointment, rubbed himself against her, and took his penis out of his trousers. I'll link the articles where these quotes are from down below if you'd like to read them. This is the doctor in question, T. John Esho. Full name, Oluwafemi Esho. And judging by that attempted smouldering look he's doing in the picture, he thinks he's hot shit, I'm guessing. Whereas clearly he's in deep shit with the General Medical Council. Now, while the investigation is ongoing, I'm not going to comment on it in great amounts of detail because we do need to wait for the findings. However, he has admitted to charges already. Now, why am I making a video about this? Well, I'm going to say something which is going to be quite controversial to, I think, all my colleagues in the industry now, because by the looks of it, no one has the courage to speak up about it. And that is, this sort of behavior is rife. This is not an isolated incident from one person. It may not get spoken about, like the exploitation in other industries where men in positions of power or authority try to exploit women, for example, Harvey Weinstein in the film industry, because people think doctors can't possibly do things like that. But the field of cosmetic medicine globally has the same issues. I know you all think, well, doctors are morally upright people who never do anything wrong, etc. But that isn't the case. We are just as human as everyone else. This sort of behavior exists in this industry and it has to stop. This particular case was between a doctor and a patient, but it's rife between doctors and other doctors, between doctors and company staff, between trainers and students and more. It's not okay and it needs to stop. What's worse is a lot of the doctors who behave like this are married and some of them have kids too. What are you doing? Stop being a pervert and touching up female delegates who have come to learn from you and grow up. This particular story is something I've heard from, I don't even know how many people. Every conference I've been to, people end up talking about stories like this, but everyone's too scared to speak up about it openly or warn newcomers to the industry about it. They talk about it in hushed tones, like in Harry Potter when people say Voldemort's name. Why? Why can't we talk about this thing openly? If we're scared to talk about it, then we'll never address it and prevent behavior like this in the future. If we keep putting people like this in the spotlight at events and make them speakers for companies, then are we not all responsible for any of their future behavior that victimizes people? Or, are we okay with turning a blind eye to things like this just because they can make a profit for companies? The modeling industry, the film industry, the TV industry, the music industry, they've all had their moments where predatory behavior by men has become so bad that it's spilled out into the open in the past few years. Well, do you know what? I am going to get the ball rolling here and call out the medical field too. We are just as bad. And the people who perpetrate these incidents need to start getting worried because one day, as long as I can help it, it's going to blow up in all their faces. I want to say one last thing before I finish. If you watching this are a female doctor or dentist or nurse or sales rep or just anyone in this industry in any way, and you've experienced things like this, then one, please speak to me because I want to put a stop to this. My Instagram is linked below if you want to message me directly. I'm hoping with some help, maybe I can create some sort of method of stopping this forever, but I need your help and I do need your stories. Number two, no matter how important or well-known or famous or how big their social media reach is for the person that behaved inappropriately to you, don't ever, ever be afraid to stand up for yourself.